Let me play this warning for. Let me play this. Somebody call Vocab. Somebody call Vocab, man. Where Abu at? Pastor Kelly was supposed to send me some other stuff. I wanna throw some of this up here before I Y'all just tell me what y'all thoughts are. Man, I have a few thinking people here. Fair use. Now, somebody said that Pastor been quiet all this time. He been quiet a lot. I think let me see. He texted me 2 other videos, and I want to show something. We're talking about vocab for the slow people. We're talking about vocab Malone. He done been all in front of the folk church, and people are upset. All of this is going back to arguing about pews and being back and forth, and people just feeling disrespected because people are talking. Vocab and Abu. Y'all know people been dropping videos them, and it's been a bit back and forth. And Pastor Kelly was saying that anytime it seemed like Professor Katz come up, Pastor Kelly's name is involved in it. When they automatically said that didn't have nothing, it was never really connected with him. But now it's like anytime among certain, like in this community, you hear Professor Katz, you hear Pastor Kelly. Not even this brother right here, but you hear Pastor Kelly. Y'all know vocab. Jump on Abu, because I'm gonna play a video, a clip of a video, and y'all said because they feel, Pastor Kelly specifically feel that y'all are disingenuous. Y'all want to play that other video where he had that T-shirt on, but he dealt with his methodologies and how he came up with the whole thing about the Hebrew on the pews. He gave me 2 clips. I'm gonna play that, and then we just gonna move over. We ain't gonna touch this anymore. But apparently some people are offended that vocab went up there posting up with David Woods and what's the other brother name in front of the folk church. I'm just like, vocab is just vocab. This is crazy. And other people will be like, well, ain't nobody upset when they all in front of everybody else's church. IURC. Is this the same thing? Is this the same thing? Is this Christian behavior? Hold on, let me put the link out there. If you want to, I don't know if you would fan me or what, but I'm going to put it out anyway. All right, I just wanted to play that video. Does anyone have any thoughts on that?
Well, hold on, Berean. We're supposed to be believers, right? So
all of us.
But what did Paul says? Don't go run to those outside. Should we have the Spirit and that kind of stuff? We're supposed to judge angels, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it would say I had more than Christian. It should be in-house discussion. Elders should be called, all that kind of stuff. If that's the case.
Can we do that on the internet? We will. Matter of fact, shout out to Pastor Green. He wanted to come on so we could chopping about elders and being on social media and just how all of that stuff work. What do y'all think about what y'all just saw? All in light of discussions about the pews and Hebrew and trying to deal with just history, in the light of all of that right there.
It's amazing to me that when you bring up Richard Katz, and when I did a little research on it, I pulled up a bunch of Richard Katz around here in America. They turned out to be veterinarians, the majority of them. The only educator was a principal in elementary school. Then I looked up the one in Israel. He's not coming over here. He didn't even verify those things. So when you call Pastor Kelly out on his lie that he promoted, and he don't want to own up to it, that's on him. And as far as what it says in 1 Corinthians 6, I agree. We also have a Matthew 18 situation. He don't want to be called out by Abu. He has problems with Abu. Well, now it's Abu, him, and another brother who would be neutral. And if they still want to hear it, then it goes in front of the church as a whole. This is where we need to go. Because we've been dealing with this for years. He got called out on it. It's proven that he lied. What more you want? That's a good place to land.
Okay, okay. Like Brown said, Brown pointed out, they don't consider him a brother in Christ. Okay. All I know is that certain folks come around and they say the Roman Catholic Church, the Europeans, the church been hiding information, but shouldn't things be addressed? Has the information really been addressed in a manner to where it can say that we looked at it from all sides, or is this now just a shutdown kind of thing that folks said the church has been doing for years, hiding books, hiding all information, document images, all kinds of stuff? I don't know.
Yeah, like I got a lot of questions, but I guess my main question is like, because they making public claims, you know what I'm saying? I feel like public claims should be able to be refuted. You know, they take videos of Vocab, they can videos of other pastors. We should be able to talk about, you know, the information at the very least. And I feel like they upset it, you know.
Why can't stay on the information, Rock? I'm asking everybody, why can't just stay on the information? What's the beef?
Well, it's certain people who stated the information, and if they were dishonest with the information, I feel like it needs to be addressed, right? And personally, that's just how I feel. This ain't even my fight, you feel me? I feel like a lot of this stuff is childish. But if you made a public statement and you're stating that the church has hid this truth, right? The church should be able to respond, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and then you got people upset because now that the church is responding, it's like, well, they're persecuting us now. They're talking about us now. With they're making all these outlandish claims when it's like, no, we really just trying to address the statements that y'all making, the doctrines that y'all claiming. And that's really all it is. I feel like Vocab is really trying to address the information. I saw the video. I can understand why they took offense to it. You know what I'm saying? He was standing.
Oh, you do understand?
Yeah, I mean, of course. If they stood outside my house, I would be, or if somebody just looked up where I go to church and they just outside my church, I'd be like, dang, I feel a little way about it. But I would understand. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not Vocab, and Vocab may have, do what he do. But I feel like, because I've listened to what's his name? Is it Pastor Kelly?
Yes.
He seems like he's a person that you can talk to.
Yeah.
Now I don't know, because I don't know him personally. I don't know the backstories behind it, and maybe that's just me. I would try to reach out to him, talk to somebody. I've had conversations. I even had conversations with Apostle Curtis, that believes he ain't never sinned.
Oh Lord.
No, Roger, he said he hasn't sinned in 15 years.
Yes,
he never said.
We ain't even them folk, him, Jay, the producer, certain folk we ain't even talking about. Them folks is too old for this.
I'm bringing him.
We ain't even dealing with them.
Me and him have had respectful conversation. He has never disrespected me. He's commented on my posts or whatever, but we've always had respectful conversation, and I never disrespected him just because I don't agree with him. You feel me? And we strongly disagree, trust me. And that's just how I feel about certain things. We can respect each other, but it don't need to go this far. I don't know why they feel so strongly about it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, a lot of this stuff, I'm just getting hip to. I don't really know the backstory to cats and stuff. I wasn't even hip to your channel when all that stuff went on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's just how I feel about it.
All right, come on.
Berean.
Read Black Cat.
Oh, Robert. If you can't talk about information without constantly bringing up someone else's claim as your reference point, then your motive is not about the information.
All right, go ahead. You want to say something too? I just want you
No,
to
I
read.
was just gonna say we were on this channel. We've done 2 videos so far. Pastor Ryan wanted him to address the comments. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of like, if that's the case, it's like, so what standard are we going to use for the community or the outside? You know what I'm saying? What standard we're using? If someone did something and
Is that based off of this comment right here? Because you were reading the comment section.
No. It just came to my mind in terms of Ryan. We want Ryan to address it. We brought it up twice. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And there are people that are going to bring it up and check on it to see if it's been addressed or not. You know what I'm saying? So in the same manner with the email situation, right? Is that not in the same light? Was the email fabricated? Was the person made up? For clarity's sake, yes or no?
Mm.
But I think, to Black Tastic, I see where Black Tastic coming from, but I'm 50-50. Sometimes there are information to where that person is the central talking point. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm doing Calvin, like if I'm doing predestination, of course Calvin's going to come up, tulip and that kind of stuff. I can address the verses, but his lot was the one that kind of pushed that doctrine. For the sake of conversation, I know folks gonna say Augustine, that kind of stuff, but you know what I'm saying? Like Calvin was the one, so I'm gonna bring up those talking points, and he's a reference point. So it's not that I don't have information and can't talk about it, but he's a central figure in this conversation, whether I say his name or not. Dealing with predestination, all that kind of stuff. So, and likewise with the pews, there are folks who do come up because they're central figures presenting a view, and we want to come to a conclusion what's on the pew collectively. Then I don't know. To me, as a researcher, I might put up other people as a reference points. Just like if I write a paper, I might quantify my paper showing another view to what I'm writing. And there's nothing wrong with that in academia. We use references. People use references all the time.
Can discussions be had without bringing up who the sources came from? Is that kind of the problem? Because people feel that everybody feel attacked. People are too sensitive right now. But let me just pull this up. Come on, J Man. You're muted.
Greetings, everybody. Has Sean, Dunamis, Raj, and Sister Honestly, and Brother Berean. First question I'm gonna ask, and then I'm gonna make my opinion about this whole situation known. Did Minister Chris, Elder Mike, and all the other pastors that got, Geno Jennings, Pastor Tony Evans, which is related to Minister Chris, and all the other pastors who got bum rushed and blitzed by IUIC, did they file a lawsuit, or did they tell YouTube take the videos down, or did they try to do strikes on IUIC's channel, or did they do any of this stuff? I'm just curious. Now, I do know that Geno said he didn't. I do know that Elder Mike and them didn't. I do know that Minister Chris didn't, and I'm assuming that Pastor Tony Evans did not. So, are we having these conversations or no? So my question, that's my question. So here's what I see. That was a claim made. That was and then there was a professor, an email presented, and some issues and questions came about it. And people don't want to answer questions, and instead of addressing it head on, they want to shut people's channels down and file lawsuits and do all this other stuff. That's suspect to me.
Even though those people, well, you name the people that you name, Minister Chris and all of them church, Tony Evans Church and all of that. Those were camps.
Right, but nobody followed,
because that people all claim that Israel is all. Tell me what your thoughts are on that right there. Because some people, they not part of the camps. They weren't in front of nobody church. True. Of course, when I text my phone, it was like, well, they ain't speak up. So that's what it is. But true. You think he's in the same category to get the gentleman, Pastor Brown, from the videos in the same category as IURC?
I'm not saying that Pastor Richardson teach the same ideology or the same biblical ideology as the council, but as he claims to be Israel, so do IUIC claims to be Israel. They bum rushing churches and trying to destroy the church, basically bum rushing pastors, elderly pastors, and all kind of stuff. But nobody's.
So you don't think for Vocab to go in front of closed church, it ain't even on the same level. He went there not to disrupt the service, not whilst any of the congregants were in there. He was in the building preaching. Peter was walking in, handing out flyers. He just stood in front of a closed building. You don't even equate to the same level.
He stood in front of a closed building and trolled them. I mean, we can keep it real. He was trolling.
Okay. At least it's okay.
Yeah, he was definitely trolling, but he didn't disrupt service. He was on the sidewalk. So, I mean, that would be, and like Roger said, if they were standing in front of my church and on the sidewalk doing some funny stuff, I'd feel some kind of way. But am I going to go, try to shut the church? No, I'm going to confront them. Especially if it's about something that I said or allegedly said, or something that I did, or something that I'm teaching. I'm going to stand up for what I teach. I'm going to stand up for what I say. I don't know I don't have to give you an answer for this, and they just shut down and not give an account. And again, Vocab is not the only one that's been answering these questions. People in Israel have been answering this question. So, but nobody's getting an answer. It's all been shut down. And when people try to get an answer, me personally, I would just call them. I would just mark them as it was a fraud. They don't want to talk about it because they're embarrassed. They don't want to come clean, and let the Lord deal with them. That's how I would deal with it. I would just mark them like that, because if you can't come out and admit that you were wrong, because you put this stuff out here in public and came at people because they pushed back, and now that all this has come, it's basically been turned up on the side of his head. You can't come clean and say, hey, you know what? I was wrong. But I guarantee you, if I manufactured a professor and put out a fake email, if I did that, then of course I'm not going to admit to any wrongdoing. Now I'm not saying Pastor Kelly did that, but if that's my cousin or not, hey man, I'm washing my hands of the whole thing. I got to be, hey, that's my cousin, but you know what? On keeping it 100, it ain't nothing. It ain't what I thought it was. He can't even say that. He don't want to talk about it right now. And I'm not trying to bash him. I'm just saying, So, to my advice to Vocab, if I was him, I would, in the booth, I wouldn't even push it no more. It's obvious they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it for a reason. Because if they had the truth on their side, they'd be pushing back hard. Am I right? Does this make any sense to anybody?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm trying to look up. He sent me something. He sent me from Pastor Kelly sent me from a few days ago with a timestamp on it that I'm trying to. Y'all know I got all these. This phone thing is. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
Hey, yo, Berean. I'm about to get up out of here, so I did want to. Before I go, it ain't no beef between me and Dunamis. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Or the charismatics.
No. It's beef for now. You wait a minute now. It's some beef.
No, I'm beefing with the hyper charismatics.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that I want to make that clear before I go. Peace, okay. Dunamis, peace, Berean, and good night, everyone.
All right, good night.
Good night.
All right, y'all. I'm sorry, J Mac was saying something or somebody else. I'm trying to find Pastor, and I thought I saved his name this time.
No, I'm about to go too, Brother Berean. Okay. All right. Grace and peace, y'all.
All right. Grace and peace. All right, Dunamis. Anybody else want to say anything before we can jump out of here? I can't find that other video. I can't find his name in this phone, and I thought I had it queued up. It's one of these right here, but I can't. Me with them timestamps. I told him, send me a bullet, send me a thing with the points and where I gotta get to play what I have to play, so I can know exactly what. Let me see. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
Red Letter said no. So what are you saying no to, Red Letter? You saying no? I'm not making sense, or what are you saying? And to Pastor, Dunamis and the pastor on the panel, what is it? You got a problem with what I said, or does it make sense, or what is you guys' opinion about this?
Read that.
The book and Vocab are doing this for self-glorification at this point. I guess they mad Kelly and Brown continue to teach and seek Christ in a lot of cats.
What are your thoughts on that? I'm just playing.
To me, it's a thing. Man, look, if we were in academics, right, and we would do something like that, okay, Ben, Dr. Ben, Dr. Ben, right, and that white lady that was banging on him, right?
Yeah, Mary Lefkowitz, yeah.
Dr. Ben said that was racism, this and that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Right? But it turns out what she was saying wasn't wrong.
Correct.
And needs to be addressed in the academic sense that we're putting information out for people to follow. Right?
And folks end up going crazy on her because she was just asking certain questions about the Library of Alexandria, and it seemed like his timeline was off. They went crazy. And she's like, how did this type of behavior sneak up in the academic world and with some kids, but people were already believing. By the time, like Roger said, by the time they got to her class and they started questioning her, they're like, listen, you white, you trying to hide the truth from us that we the Egyptians, we the original man, we this, we that, and the whole thing was out of control. But go ahead.
So the same matter, while Dr. Ben was lifting black folks, giving them whatever self-esteem, folks praise him, but they didn't contribute to him from what I heard later in life. But still, it's not to say that it wipes out all that he's done. It just something needs to be addressed and clarified. If we want to get into the realm of research and academia, this is not about spiritual. This is about research and academia and what we want to put out there.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, that is the video. Abu, that's the video I'm looking for right here. I can't even find it on my thing. I think it was unlisted, but he sent it to me on my phone. That is the video exactly. And he told me to start it. I'm trying to pull it up, but I can't even find it. At least if I could play it from my phone, I can't find his names. I got too many names and there's no too many numbers with no name. But go ahead, Dunamis.
No, so I think that's where, even though it's gone on for 2 years, part of the reason why it wasn't addressed in the forefront. The way it was addressed was
from the gate. It was wrong.
Yeah. So it's just a simple, just addresses one thing.
How do you address an issue that people? How do you address the issue without bringing up the people that made it an issue? I mean, certain people put that out there. Certain people put the information out there. Certain people made the claim. Certain people made, the email or put the email out there. How do you talk about the issue without talking about who put that out there? I don't understand how you do that. Maybe I'm missing something. How do you talk about the issue without talking about the person that made the claims?
You saying he can't do it? Yeah, that phone down. I unplugged that. Yeah. All right, I can't. Yeah, that's the video, but I can't.
And then the whole thing is not just a UA thing. People saying it's a urban apologist. Orthodox Moor is not your urban apologist. Or Orthodox Moor, plantation politics, that kind of stuff. But there are people even within Israel who have opposing views to what's being presented. So it's not just UA. It's not UA versus Israel. It's people from all manners. Henry Louis Gates isn't UA, but he went down to that church. So different people have different views. What's the consensus?
Right, and when you're looking at evidence, or what's supposed to be evidence, people are going to ask questions. And it ain't just, like I said, it's not just Gentiles asking these questions. There are people who profess to be Israel asking these same questions. Now, they're not going and trolling and doing all the stuff Vocab is doing, but they still asking the questions. And some of them have been ostracized. You know what I'm saying? Some of them have been treated badly because they're asking questions. And, others just choose not to talk about it. But if that stuff was put out there in public, it would be just like me sitting here and telling y'all, man, I'm a mega pastor. I got, 100,000. I got a $5,000 member church, and I got all this bling bling, and I'm doing all these things, and we're traveling across the country, and we're making it happen, man. And then y'all look into my background, and it was like, this dude ain't got no church. This dude, and then you're going to talk about that without talking about me making those claims? How does that work?
Read that right there before we get out of here.
Scholars make claims too, but y'all don't constantly talk about them. It's not an honest conversation. Orthodox more is to visiting churches and calling folks cowards and debating.
All right, any thoughts on that before we go?
Well, I just said that Vocab was trolling, so I don't know what else to say. That's not something I would do. And at this point, the only thing that can be done is to move on, mark them as putting out fraudulent information and not coming clean about it and move on.
Listen to faithful sister and y'all. Why can't you good Christians, like everybody together, they making it, somebody here making it sound like it's Christian versus Israel. Why can't you good Christians forgive, shake the dust off of your feet and just move on? But why can't you just you're a good Christian. Why can't you just forgive, shake the dust off of your feet and move on?
I don't have any unforgiveness.
I know. I'm talking to Boo. I'm talking to Boo right there. Boo, you in the comment section. Why can't you just shake the dust off your feet and move on? So folks can just get out here and make claims and nobody can't challenge nobody claim because once people get offended, I stay offended. But y'all gonna stay making videos, people gonna stay making claims and nobody claim can be challenged? Mr. Blacktastic say, oh, well, it ain't fair from the gate because scholars made the claim and like the conversation ain't fair. I don't know. I just wanted to put it out there because a lot of stuff happened dealing with us over here, just this community with people coming on the panel and people saying this and people saying that. And I recently seen that thing come out to Vocab. I didn't even hear him. I just said let's play the video.
But if a scholar says something that turns out to be erroneous, what are we going to do? We're going to mark that scholar, whether that scholar admits it or not. Am I right or wrong?
All right. So your basic thing is, all right, you moving on. You just ain't, you don't trust any information that come from them channels.
Pretty much.
And basically you don't like there's people saying just don't say individuals' names, just deal with the information.
You want to read this, Berean?
Go, yeah.
Yeah, to answer faithful sister Y'all's question, I don't think it's an issue of forgiveness. I have not requested my apology. I have not requested any apology. I think it's more in keeping with an academic approach and exploring arguments.
Feelings are too deep into it right now. Ain't nothing else to do. Them folk want to believe. Them folk want to believe whatever they say they want to believe. Then, like I said, then later on, private conversations come up saying they didn't even believe. We don't even talk to this. It's too much going on right now to even deal with that. Listen, if you in Christ, you in Christ. That's all I'm riding with right there. And being in Christ is important. I'm going to still hold my position. I'm not going to sit here and act like every Baptist going to heaven. I'm not going to sit here and act like every Israelite going to hell. People are people. This is just what it is. All right, everybody. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to get on out of here.